So if you're like anyone I've ever talked to that has visited Rome, we all have one thing in common. We couldn't wait to go back. Was it the rich history, the ruins, and the landmarks that represent the once great Roman Empire? Maybe. But for most of us, it was the raw authenticity of the old neighborhoods, alleyways, food, and beautiful people that actually makes Rome such an amazing city. So yeah, I knew I had to get back to Rome to take it all in again. But this time, I may need to add a few bucket list items to my itinerary.
Well, it took us about 20 hours to get here. Actually, it's taken us about a lifetime to get here because my whole life, the bucket list was, and I've got several, was to ride a Vespa in the ancient city of Rome. Actually, I've had a few bucket lists when it comes to Rome. One of them is singing opera from a window out to the citizens of Rome.
Give my love, for no one else can end this yearning.
Okay, so let's get to our bucket list, and that is seeing Rome, the ancient city, by Vespa. Let's go get our own.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. Rome? Vespa? Suicide. Yeah, I get it. And yes, I do not endorse or encourage anyone to ride a motorized scooter in Rome at any time. But talk about the classic way of getting around this beautiful city. In fact, anywhere you go in Italy, you might find more scooters on the road than you will cars. And it's been immortalized and romanticized in great films throughout history, so how could we resist? So eventually we found a great place to rent a modern Vespa. Patricia and her family have been renting them out for decades. She says that Romans have always loved their Vespas.
I think because it's the Italian style, it's the mind think the Roman holiday, and then it's only with the Vespa. It's remember the film for a long time ago, we go in the Roman holiday. I think this is the reason for to like the Vespa.
So finally, it was our turn. Patricia rented us a cool modern Vespa Primavera, or as she called it, a Primavera. That's right, 150 cc's of pure power. And when we hit the road, it was instantly obvious why seeing Rome this way was the only way to do it. Now, yeah, it's true, and it's widely accepted by Roman drivers, but when traffic gets jammed up in the city, the scooters simply zip to the front of the line and continue on, and nobody seems to care. As one Roman told me, it's just the way it's done. And the great thing is, on a scooter, you can stop off wherever you want. Because in Rome, if you don't eat, there's really not too much reason to go. Or, of course, grab a cappuccino. So after a long day of scooting around and sightseeing, it's time for Rome to do what Rome does best. After the sun goes down, it's amazing how the Romans head to the streets to enjoy the cool air, socialize, and of course, eat some of the best food on the planet. Honestly, it seems like the entire population is outside at the cafes and restaurants till what many would consider late into the night.
You know what? The great thing about this is you're going to find places like this all over Rome. We're talking the back alleys. They put up some barriers. You come in, they got some lights, some tables, and a few restaurants all feeding into it. It's absolute perfection, especially with this weather.
And as far as our little visit to Rome, yeah, we put a few miles on that scooter and have eaten some of the best food in the world. In fact, I'm pretty sure we've eaten all their pasta, and we've probably finished off a good portion of their wine supply. So they'll probably be closing the city for a while, and for that, I do apologize. So if you choose to rent a Vespa in Rome, well, do be safe, but get ready for a classic adventure that you will never forget. And remember, the treasures of Rome aren't necessarily the tourist spots. The real treasures can be found on the streets and the alleyways in the most beautiful city in the world.